What's up, Jared Evenson? How are you doing today?
It's another great day for a podcast.
It's another beautiful day on the Palouse. I was mowing some grass today at one of my Airbnbs at about like six, like dark 30 this morning, and
Look at that guy.
it's got like the best view in Pullman, I think. And as the sun was rising, I took a video. I put it on TikTok this morning of like the red. The red was still shining in the Bryan clock tower, and just awesome sunrise this morning. Pretty cool. Check it out on my TikTok. Anyways, how about them Cougs? How about them Cougs?
It-
Crushing, man. We should have smoked the Huskies. We beat them, but I think we could have beat them by a lot more. They looked terrible. The
Dude,
Huskies, that is.
Coug Nation is fired up. Uh, I can't believe it. And then I don't know if you're watching, but they're doing a big drive with like the Coug Collective, doing some matching. They've got a bunch of new people joining the monthly club, the 920 club. Like Cougs are fired up, and that win was exactly what we needed to make things roll. I think keep us on the right track. You know what I'm talking about. On top of that, we had those 4 other teams join the Pac-12 last week as well. Like you could not have asked for a better week. You can't.
Well, and then of course, Fed dropped it like it's hot, dropped the
Oh,
rate like it's hot. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Uh,
Good stuff.
so I've like been busier, almost busier than I can handle all of a sudden this week. So Fed comes out, drops the rate 50 basis points. Am I saying that correctly?
Pretty close, yeah.
And it's like it's kind of like, oh my god, it feels like buyers are kind of trying to not really rush back into like the idea of buying a house, but they're kind of making decisions again. So that's nice. So how does that work? So Fed
Yeah.
drops the rate 50 basis points. So is my mortgage? So if I can go out and get a mortgage now, it was like what 6.1, 6.2. So am I going to be
Five
able to get
point
it for like
something.
5.65 now, or how does that all work?
Not exactly. So that's kind of a big like misconception. The media does a very good job of making the consumers think that, hey, Fed dropped the rate, my mortgage rate went down 0.5% to go along with it. You would be kind of shocked to know that happened on Wednesday. Um, Mortgage interest rates are actually worse on Thursday than they were on Wednesday and Tuesday. So it had a different impact. But here's what I like to tell people is the Fed funds rate, which is what was dropped on Wednesday, went down 0.5 point for the first time in over 4 years, right? It had gone up over the last 4 years, and now we're bringing her back down. But that rate is directly tied to more type of consumer type loans, like your auto loans, credit cards, boat loans. Your savings account is actually affected by it, which you're getting a higher yield on your savings with most banks. The higher that Fed rate is, the more the banks are giving you in return. Because what that number is that's the number that banks borrow overnight money with, basically. So that's kind of the standard. Here's what the overnight borrowing is. And so that's what's directly related to that Fed rate that just went down. So if you're buying a car, you're going to see better rate. If you have a home equity line of credit that's on like a floating rate, you're actually going to see that go down. But your long term, your 30-year mortgage, your 15-year, your 20-year mortgage, those are all typically based off of mortgage backed securities. Now, here's where they are kind of loosely tied together. We've seen over the last kind of 6-7 weeks, interest rates just start to go, they've gone down quite a bit. And that was in anticipation of this meeting that happened Wednesday. So in the previous meeting, the Fed said, hey, it's time. It's not today. It'll probably be at the next meeting. We're going to start slashing rates. They kind of let people know in advance, and the market reacted in advance. So that's what's really, really cool about the mortgage-backed securities is we didn't have to wait till Fed Day to have those rates go down. They've been trickling down. They're like 1.5% lower than they were 6-7 weeks ago, and that was because the market knew it was going to happen. So by the time the Fed slashed the rate on Wednesday, we'd already baked in everything we were going to see for the improvements for this rate slash. Now, what was different about the rate cut Wednesday though is if you would have came or if you would have been placing a bet in Las Vegas a week ago on whether the Fed was going to do a 0.25% rate cut or a 0.5% rate cut, your odds would have been in favor of the quarter. But then something happened on Saturday. Uh, some reports came out, some tweets went out, some advisors made comments that said we should do a 0.5 point, and all of a sudden the odds were in the favor of the 0.5 point cut, and that's what we saw on Wednesday. And so, what does that mean though? Like, do you know? What does it mean for the economy? Really, like we're gonna feel it on the rate sheet stuff, but what it means is they feel like the economy's not doing as good as they thought it was. So uh, consumers got really, really excited. Home buyers came out of Ludorks. I can't tell you how many phone calls and text messages I got about, hey, should I refinance now? Like you're really, really close to where we should do that. But this didn't affect that directly today. We've been watching this lead up to that, the market lead up to that. And a lot of people who do have rates that start with a 7 and start with a 6.5 or higher, they're getting really, really close to where they could do that refinance. But the rest of the world, the job market's not as hot as they thought it was. Unemployment's a little bit higher than people thought it was. And so that's what's really going on behind the scenes. And kind of that's what sparks now the Fed's saying, okay, we've got to keep the economy from going into a recession. So we got to start lowering it. And that's why I did a 0.5 point now instead of a quarter, was to try to keep us from falling into recession. So kind of where that
So
stands.
if I've got, let's say I bought a vehicle or two at a
You
higher
have
interest rate, I could go
probably.
and refinance those right now and save some money.
You might. It's kind of like houses. Your purchase interest rates are always better than your refinance interest rates usually. So, but you might be able to save some money on that. Worth looking into, especially if you have a high rate. I would probably wait. So here's the deal, though. If I'm you, or if I'm someone thinking about that, the one of the things that happened on Wednesday and then Thursday was all the extra commentary that goes along with the meeting. They don't just walk in there and slash rates and leave. They actually do work. And one of the things they do is what's called their dot plot. And what it means is all of the members of the Fed chair or of the Fed board, they go in and they got a board and they're putting dots and they're forecasting over the next year what they think they're going to do with the Fed funds rate. And they take that information, they compile it all together. And the consensus was that with all the members of the Fed, they're saying we're going to do at least another 50 basis point cut by the end of the year. So we're already 10 days away from October. So between November and December, we're going to likely see another 50 basis point drop in the Fed funds rate, which car loans, now they're going to be even that much better. Credit cards, personal loans, that kind of thing. So I would hold off if it's me and I'm in that kind of consumer debt just a little bit longer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What now? Yeah. So, anyways, but with all that said, though, Jacob, you and I were talking before we got on. Your phone's been ringing. Like it's been wild. What do you think this is kind of driving more home buyers? Because rates are down. I mean, even though we can't say it was because of yesterday, but rates are down
would you
1.5%.
so would you say there's a lot of fake news out there right now about interest rates, or like
Just
what do you
inaccurate. It's just inaccurate because they are down. They just were already that we've been going there. Uh, I think we'll continue to see them go down even a little bit more. But here's what's happening: is like what you're seeing is what I'm seeing, and it's what a lot of agents I talk to are seeing is more buyers are showing up, which is in turn making more. And we talked about this before. More home sellers are saying, okay, rate's not at 7% anymore. I'm at 4. I can sell and buy something else and not get whacked on a higher rate that bad. So competition's picking up.
Yeah, I'm getting I got a house in contract on Wednesday that's been on the market for a while. Had a ton of showings, ton of people just like almost about to pull the trigger. So that's nice. I got another house in Colfax that, buyer is like, it's like bobbing and weaving, man. It's like these buyers are bobbing and weaving trying to make a decision. It's like just pull the trigger. Because I think the longer you wait, it's just, the more chance another buyer comes in and then they lose all that leverage.
Uh-huh.
It's like just make the offer. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we're not quite to that point. Like in that same respect, and this is maybe a little off topic or cutting you off, my bad, but only because I noticed this last night. I saw a couple of realtors posting on Facebook about how they had some appraisals come in a little bit low. So we're not to that point yet to where the market can support, offers way over asking price if the house is priced where it should be, like we were 4 years ago. But we're getting to that point to where it's really, really hard to ask for the world like we could 6 months ago as a buyer. It's getting uh, level playing field for buyers and sellers. You still, buyers are still getting concessions, I think, in a lot of cases. But
yeah, I think that leverage for buyers is going to go away. We're at 98 homes on the market in Pullman, so that's still a lot. But I mean, we were at 100, now we're back at 98. So I think leverage is going down for buyers daily,
yeah,
is what I think. And I think there's renewed interest in Pullman and the Cougs. It felt for like a while.
yeah.
There was a lot of negative energy around Pullman WSU. Now it's like, hey, we're 3-0.
We
We've
have a
got
conference. We almost have a
a
full
conference.
conference.
We got a conference.
That's big though.
We beat the Huskies. So I think today's game against San Jose State is a huge game. They've got some good players. So if we could, continue 4-0, I think real estate is it's tied a lot to sports here. I know some people would disagree, but I think when the Cougs are winning, um, buyers are like, "Let's go," So I'm always pulling for the Cougs because I think it benefits our real estate market.
I read an article this morning. It was talking about Pullman, WSU Pullman, that first year enrollment numbers are actually up. Been kind of trending up year over year. COVID obviously put a corkscrew and everything, but still trending up, which is huge for Pullman as well. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So I showed a house on College Hill was it last week to a group of sorority girls, and I was asking them. Two of them were from California. Five of them were from Western Washington, and I was just it's kind of research. I'm like asking them if like with the Pac 2, and this was before they announced, this was before the Husky game and before they announced the teams coming.
uh-huh.
I was like, are you guys with all the Pac 2 Pac 12 thing, does that discourage you to from coming to WSU? Is there still that like interest in coming to
A big
Pullman to
Pac-12
go to
school. Yeah.
school? And they were like, they didn't really. I mean, they said not really. I mean, it's like we still like a lot of these kids are coming because their parents, their aunts and uncles came to Pullman. I mean, it's like a legacy thing, I guess. I don't know if that's the right term, but
Yeah, that's a good term. Yeah.
it's like, and I went to WSU. I got a bunch of friends that went to WSU, and it's like that's what people do. It's,
Mhm.
I mean, it's probably one of the best college experiences, I think. Um, like hands down, like no comparison. I think for people that want to go to school, live in a college town. I mean, the whole town revolves around Coug sports, or well,
Yeah.
WSU, and then sports, and it's just it's an amazing experience to, I think, for people to go to school here. So, anyways, I thought that was interesting that it really doesn't matter. We could be in the Pac 1, it could just be us,
Yeah.
and people are still going to want to come to Pullman, go to school.
Learn
So,
in football games.
um, that's you know.
That
Uh,
that's
so
our loose tie-in to real estate with WSU Sports right there. But
and I'm kind of mentioning that, so like for investors, because I work with a lot of investors, and they're just like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, should I invest in Pullman? Oh, it's like, yes, and right now is a great time to buy, because there's quite a few rental properties on College Hill around
yeah,
Pullman. You could buy something and actually be able to negotiate. There's hardly ever been properties for sale on College Hill in the past.
yeah, I
And
noticed
now
that.
there's like a lot.
Ah,
And the problem is with a lot of these College Hill rentals is they haven't really been maintained, and so they just need a lot of work. But you know, um, typically on College Hill, you can get 650 per bedroom a month or more. Like I've got a property we're getting, I think 750 a bedroom. Um, and so you could buy a College Hill rental, get, let's say, 700, 750 a bedroom.
yeah.
And if it has 7 bedrooms, I mean, you do the math. That you can cover your mortgage, with that.
In almost any case, yeah. No, that's interesting.
The issue is you got to be able to do the work, and that's where a lot of buyers and investors just, they
You
want turnkey. It's like, well, that doesn't exist for what you're looking for. You
well,
got to
you don't need to put the top end finishes in either. The kids don't care.
Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah,
don't care. Like, location is way more important on College Hill and Pullman than having quartz countertops. I was like,
yeah,
come on, yeah, these kids are going to college. They don't care.
yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of cool. No, it's that's good to see. I've been seeing uh a lot of creative transactions being put together, um, using different types of financing right now, whether it's investors using non-traditional type loans, or um, getting into the types of financing that we're not used to. I'm doing one right now that's for a a non-U.S. citizen. They don't have like a work visa or anything, so they don't even have a social security number. But they own a restaurant, and we're able to get them into a house using financing type that I've never really used before, but slam dunk easy types of stuff. But like, so lenders are hungry, I think, and they're trying to help find ways to create more home buyers, and uh, that's what's, I think, driving the market right now. I'm not just doing your vanilla loan types, but there's a little twist to darn near everything I'm doing, which is awesome. I'd say about half the stuff we're doing. So uh, it's like one of those things, but the real estate agents, I think, are driving those tougher transactions and making them happen. So it's like kudos to the realtors of the world, the Jacob T. Davises of America, and friends. But are you finding that? Is it tougher deals? Are you seeing? Are we getting back towards your traditional 20%, 30, 40, 50% down conventional cash buyers. I feel like there's less cash buyers right now. Like they've all spent their money now, and we're getting back to people needing to finance.
I'm working with still quite a bit of traditional financing as well as cash. I'm not doing too many like creative
Yeah.
financing deals myself. But yes, I have a lot of experience in that
Uh-huh.
financing stuff myself that way.
Yeah.
So, but the buyers I'm working with, they all seem to kind of have their house in order financially, I guess. And so, which is amazing because it makes my life a lot easier when, we can just use a 20% down loan.
Yeah.
Um, Before I forget, Jared Evenson, I met with a buyer yesterday and his wife, and so they might be the only fans that we have fans now. Can you believe it? We
We
have
have more than you think. I've had,
Quincy, my man Quincy,
yeah. Ah, man.
and his son Zaza. I hope I said that properly, but
Yeah.
I guess Zazo loves watching her videos, so that's cool. We got a fan.
Yeah. Oh, we got lots of fans, man. That's cool. No, I've had a handful of people surprise me and be like, "Oh, we watched that." I'm like, "Oh, I thought we were just putting those out for us because we like to talk."
It's just us, hanging out on YouTube, just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Oh,
shooting the breeze.
there's been a handful of people that actually have reached out and done applications or started the home buying process with it. So, uh, if there's content or stuff people want to hear, drop us a message. Let us
Yeah,
know.
hit us
That's-
up.
yeah,
Yeah, if you want to shout out, let us know. We'll give
yeah.
you a
We'll
shout
do
out.
birthday shout outs for $5.
Hey, I've got a electronic board on the highway here. I'll do a shout out on the board. It's like happy birthday, so and so.
Yeah, dude, that'll be fun. Oh, no, it's good. But yeah, it's and we got to find our next guest too. Who we bringing on?
Yeah, I
The
want. I
judge
really
was
want
fun,
to get
or
like John Mateer or a Coug player,
uh,
or maybe like Drew Bledsoe. Maybe
I'll call him.
I'm not
We
sure.
had Jack. Jack was great.
Jack,
Uh,
the man.
uh, you know who we might be able to, we'll find someone good. Yeah. Send us your recommendations and then give us their cell phone number. Uh,
Yeah, and we need some more subscribers. Like we're almost at 300. I think we should do like a giveaway for whoever is number 300.
uh-huh.
Like I'll buy you a dinner at Black Cypress. How's
Do,
that sound?
do they have to, you have to go, do they have to go with you or do they get to take whoever they want?
I don't think they want to go with me, but yeah, Black
Dude,
Cypress. Well, I guess if you're out of the area, gives you a reason to come to Pullman too. So
you did that open house bingo last week and that was a hit.
did we?
And we gave away that Black Cypress gift card for $100 and a couple of Stanley mugs. Jordan got to host one of the houses. He had a blast.
It was
My
fun. We had
Jordan,
a lot
Cody
of people
Palmer.
come out. I think we'll do that again. Another open house bingo. Yeah, it was.
Do open house poker.
hmm,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Heather Saltarella, she's amazing at like putting that stuff together. So we'll have to throw it out to her.
Cool. All right, man. Well,
Heather Saltarella with Woodbridge Real Estate. She's an amazing.
bingo master.
Huh?
Bingo master.
Well, she's a great Moscow, so she lives in Moscow. So
Uh,
if you're looking for an agent in Moscow, she's great over there. She also does Whitman County.
yeah.
Like she'll do, she'll work in both states. But anyways, well, so what time it kickoff is 7:30
I
today?
think 7. Yeah, I gotta start. I gotta start getting ready. I gotta find something to drink. But yeah, it's still a ways away. A little early for that. Oh, 7 o'clock, San Jose State.
Hey, so I want to tell you, I've been coaching flag football. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, I heard that rumor.
In Pullman, I'm coaching flag football. So I've got a game. We're the Seahawks. So my flag football team, we've got a game 3:45 to probably about 4:45. We're taking on the Panthers. We're gonna crush them. We're gonna crush them today.
Are you gonna dress like Pete Carroll and have you chew your bubble gum? You should do that.
I'm starting to get kind of the Pete Carroll. Got the Pete Carroll do going on. So
Sweet. Let's do it. Forget him. And isn't his kid on the Husky coaching staff too, or something? His
yeah,
and
Belichick's kid.
his and Belichick's, and God, they couldn't stop showing him on the TV. But just goes to show we're better. We outcoached them. It was just going.
Oh
Cougs.
man, 100%. Anyways, well, thanks for joining again on another podcast /YouTube video. And until next time, go Cougs!
Cougs.
Cougs.
Down.